true colors. That's why I love you, so don't be afraid to let them show you your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a show me a smile and don't be unhappy, can remember that's all. This love looks so crazy, and you take it all you can. Hold me up, 'cause you know I'll be there, and I'll see your true colors.
Welcome, everybody. Hope you can hear me. Family, friends, new friends, because that's what we're doing here, is joining two families together, all to make one new one. Sorry, you knew this when you asked me to do this. Most of all, welcome Rudy and Danny. I suppose that everyone here came for a wedding. Raise your hand. And we'll be a little disappointed that what we're having is a wedding celebration and not an actual wedding today. That's why I'm up here, not the bishop or somebody that could do that. We had a little glitch in the paperwork. I suppose most of you know that. And so we will be having the wedding a little bit later, a little bit quieter. We do expect the two of you to actually go ahead and go through with that, since we've had this big party for you. So it is probably a good thing that it's not a wedding, because as I said, although I am Father Jeff, I am not a preacher or a bishop or a judge or a ship's captain. But I am the father of the bride, so even though I don't have any authority here or at home, I have the ability and authority to at least grant a father's blessing to the sheep son. Please bear with me. It might get ugly. But I will do my best. Some of you who know me, other than Danny's father, may find it ironic that I'm standing in front of any congregation in any church. So if you hear thunder, just don't stand too close. I can tell you that I have performed one wedding before, but the poor woman died within a few months. So maybe it is a good thing. Do not die. On the other hand, Danny's grandfather has performed hundreds of marriages. So I thought, who better to tell me what to tell him? I called him for some help with this. He said they would love to be here if their help would permit it. And I said, but you hate to travel. And they said, we have a foot of snow and the high temperature today is supposed to be 25. We would love to be there. But he went ahead and gave me the advice that he gave to hundreds and hundreds of couples that he married. And Danny says I give too much advice, so maybe she'll listen to Grandpa's. You know, and as a man who married probably a jillion couples, and has been married to my mom for 66 years, which if you know my mom, that's an accomplishment. But I'd say his advice is worth listening to. And not surprisingly, he said that a lot of his advice came from Gordon B. Hinckley, president of the Mormon Church. President Hinckley and Grandpa both were known to give much advice Grandpa's wedding speech is about 15 or 20 minutes long. Mine won't be. So, the first thing is to love each other, even and especially when you don't particularly like each other. Everybody has that. Life is not always beautiful and fun and happy, but you need to remember, in those times, sure, and at all times, that you love each other. Next is to talk to each other. And never about each other. And the quotation, roughly, which is not exact, but it's real close, is never let another person hear you speak an unkind word about your spouse. Good advice. The next one, remember this day. Remember right now. And not because of all the nice things that everybody will say, but because of why you're here. You know, there's an old saying, this did not come from Gordon B. Hinckley, I can tell you, but old saying that sometimes when you're up to your behind in alligators, that